Okay, so our next special right triangle is called a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Okay, and once again, I'm going to start with a picture. So let's draw our right triangle, and obviously, we're just eyeballing it a little bit. Okay, that's a right triangle. And then let's go ahead and call this side our 60 degrees. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And this side our 30 degrees. Okay. So right away, we're going to be able to know what our hypotenuse is because our hypotenuse is always right across from the right angle. Okay. But, oopsie, hypotenuse. Okay. But up here when we were talking about 45, 45, 90s, I just labeled them the legs. Now, I could label them the same thing because it's isosceles. So they have the same side lengths, right? That's not going to be true in a 30, 60, 90 triangle because it's not isosceles, which means that these are going to be different side lengths, okay? So you're going to have a short leg and a long leg. Now, how do you tell which one's which, right? Well, we studied this in chapter 5, but it's all about where the angle measure is. So if the 30 degrees is here and the 60 degrees is here, all right, remember that the longer leg is going to be across from the bigger angle, right? So this side length right here that's across from the 60 degrees is going to be our long leg, and I'm going to label that LL, okay? And then the one across from the 30 is going to be our short leg. Okay, so those are the three side legs that we have. We have a hypotenuse, we have a long leg, and we have a short leg. Okay, so with the 30, 60, 90 triangle, though, we have two formulas. So let's start with the hypotenuse one. So the hypotenuse is going to be equal to 2 times the short leg. Okay, and then the next one is the long leg is going to be equal to the square root of 3 times the short leg. Okay, so the short leg is kind of important here because it's the basis of both of these formulas. So if you have the short leg, it's just a simple computation of just plugging it in. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. All right, it says to find all the variables. So we have here a right angle, all right, which means that x has to be our hypotenuse. Okay, all right. We have our 60 degrees here, which means that our 6 has to be our long leg because it's across from the 60 degrees. And then we have our 30 degrees here, which means that the y has to be our short leg, okay? So it's not helpful in this one because we don't have our short leg, so we can't just plug in. So we have to look at what we're given. So we are given the long leg, which means that I'm going to start with the long leg formula. So the long leg formula is going to be equal to the square root of 3 times the short leg, okay? Our long leg is 6, so I'm going to plug that in, is equal to the square root of 3 times y, because y represents our short leg. And now we simplify. So I'm going to divide by the square root of 3, divide by the square root of 3, and now I have to rationalize because I have that radical in the bottom. So I'm going to rationalize 6 over the square root of 3 by multiplying by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. Okay, multiplying straight across, I'm going to get 6 root 3 over the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. And then simplifying the 6 and the 3, all right, my final answer for that is y is going to be equal to 2 times the square root of 3. Okay, so our short leg is 2 root 3. Okay, now let's find our hypotenuse because I have my short leg, which means that I can now use my hypotenuse formula, which my hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg. Okay, x is my hypotenuse, is equal to 2 times. My short leg we just found out is 2 root 3, so 2 times 2 root 3. All right, and then simplifying that, you get x is equal to 4 root 3. And that's my final answer. So I have x is 4 root 3, and I have y is 2 root 3. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. So this is our 30 degrees. We have 60 degrees. All right, our x is our hypotenuse. Our 7 is our short leg because it's across from the 30. And the y is the long leg because it's across from the 60. So this one's going to be pretty easy because we have the short leg, which means that we can just plug into both of those formulas. So our hypotenuse formula is 2 times our short leg, okay? Our hypotenuse is x is equal to 2 times our short leg, which is 7. So then our hypotenuse is 14. Okay? Let's find our long leg. So our long leg is equal to square root of 3 times our short leg. Our long leg is y is equal to square root of 3 times our short leg, which is 7. And remember, I don't like it written that way. I like the 7 to come first. So y is equal to 7 times the square root of 3. And that's our final answer. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so 60 degrees here, which means that this one's 30 degrees. All right, our y is our hypotenuse. Our x is our short leg. And then our 12 is our long leg. So because I have my 12, I have that long leg, I'm starting there. All right, so I'm going to start with long leg is equal to square root of 3 times short leg. And I'm going to put that 12 in for my long leg, which is equal to the square root of 3 times my short leg, which is x. All right, dividing by that square root of 3. All right, and then we have to rationalize it. So we have 12 over the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. You're going to get 12 root 3 over 3, which simplifies means that x is equal to 4 root 3. So that is our short leg. Okay. All right, now let's find y. So our y is our hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is equal to 2 times short leg. Okay. Y is our hypotenuse is equal to 2 times my short leg, which is 4 root 3. Simplifying the 2 and the 4, you're going to get y is equal to 8 root 3. And that's your final answer. All right, I'm going to pause there, and then we just have a couple application questions left.